Hey y'all, it's Devin with Motion Suite. Today we are going to do just a static stretching routine to help stretch all your tired, hardworking muscles that have been working for all your runs this week and all of your cross training. You can do this on a cross training day along with a strength workout or on a rest day or after a run or whenever. Take any pieces or parts of it that you like, do part of it, do all of it. I'll run you through the whole series, and then as always, if you want to repeat it, you can repeat it. All right, so I do have a foam pad. You can have a folded up towel if you need some cushion for your knee. I prefer to have cushion for my knee. If you don't need it, great. So we're gonna start with a hip flexor stretch for the front of the hip. You're gonna kneel on it. This is the stretching side, is the one that you're kneeling on. You're gonna stay tall. Bring your other foot out as far as you can into a lunge and just push forward. Keep your chest up, keep your butt tucked. You don't want to arch your back too much. You should feel a stretch in the front of the hip, in the front of that kneeling hip. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds and then we'll switch to the other side. So just make sure you're staying tall. You don't want to hinge forward because then you're putting yourself on slack. You're not going to get as much of a stretch. For this, it doesn't matter what your knee over your ankle is doing on this side. You're just focusing on the back side. You feel a good stretch down the front of the hip and the thigh. Nice and tall. All right, let's switch. Other knee down, other leg forward, and lean forward into it. You might find one side's tighter than the other. Nice and tall, keep that butt tucked. Try not to arch your back too much. You can have hands on hips, hands on thigh, hands on a wall, hands up if you'd like. All right. And come out of it. All right. I'm going to get rid of this for now. We're going to do a hip adductor stretch, which is the inner thigh. You're going to kneel on one, kick the leg out straight on the other, hands down in front of you, and you're just going to sit back on that bent leg on that heel and then come forward. You should feel the inner thigh of the straight leg really getting stretched. All right, so we're just going to go back and forth for 30 seconds. Go at whatever pace you like. Just slow on the back, slow on the forward. Should feel pretty good to that inner thigh. One more time back and then we'll switch legs. All right, switch, kick it out, sit back on that heel. You can also kind of mess with this one if you want to change the angle of your hip by the rotation of your toes. You can do toes up and sit back. You'll feel a little bit more in the back of the hamstring. Bring the toes back forward, get a little bit more of that inner thigh adductor. One more time. All right, now we're gonna go into a seated hamstring stretch. On your butt, one leg out in front of you, the other foot bent, toe to the inner thigh. And we're just gonna hinge forward at the waist to reach the toe of the straight leg to stretch the back of the thigh, the hamstring. We'll hold it for 30 seconds, then we'll switch. All right, let's go. If you can only get to knee, fine, or to your shin, to your ankle, wherever you can reach. You can have your hands support you on the ground. You can reach with one hand or both, whatever is available. Even if you need a little bend in this knee, let it bend and just hinge. You just want to feel a stretch in the back of the thigh to the best of your ability. All right, let's switch. Foot to inner thigh, knee straight, hinge forward as far as you comfortably can, and just hold it. Try to breathe into those tight spots. Think about breathing into that stretch in the hamstring. Just try to get it to relax. Slow, deep breaths. You probably also feel a little stretch in your back. All right, let's come out of that. We're going to lie flat on our backs to do a piriformis stretch. I'm sure most people are familiar. Two options. Ankle over knee. You can either pull this knee to your opposite shoulder and feel a stretch in the hip of the knee you're pulling. If that doesn't feel good enough, you can grab behind your other opposite thigh and pull that knee to your chest. That's more aggressive. Another option, if you don't like this, you don't like lying on your back, you can just do it in sitting. Put that knee over your hip and then just hang out here. This is also an option. All right. All right, I'm going to go on my back. I'm going to go from here. All right, 30 seconds. You should feel a good stretch in the outside of your hip. The hip that's all up in this pretzel position. And again, breathe deep. Breathe into those tight spots. Five seconds, and then we'll switch legs. All right, switch. Grab behind that other knee. Pull your knee to your chest. You can also push that bent knee away with your elbow. Feel like you want a little extra. All right, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we can come out of that. All right, we're going to stand up. We're going to get into the calves by the wall. So you can find a wall, get into a lunge. You're stretching the calf of the leg that's behind. Keep your heel on the floor, knees straight, and kind of just lunge forward with the front foot so you feel a stretch in the back of the calf. All right, well, let's go. Lunge into it. You should feel a pull in the back of the calf. A little knee bend will kind of put it on slack and stretch the soleus, which is a different muscle in the calf complex. Keep that knee straight. Chest up. All right, 3, 2, 1, and let's switch feet. The other one goes behind, heel on the ground, knee straight, lunge forward. Hold that stretch. You might also feel a stretch in that hip flexor too. Just try to keep that heel on the ground and that knee straight. Three, 2, 1. All right, come out of that. Now we're going to stay standing and go into a quad stretch. Hold onto a wall, the back of a chair, a sofa. You are going to bend your knee and hold your foot. Try to squeeze your heel towards your butt. Keep your butt tucked forward. You don't want your back to arch because then you're putting this all on slack. If you tuck your butt, you'll feel more of a stretch in that quad. So you should feel it in the front of the thigh and the front of the hip. All right, let's go into it. Try to pull that heel to your butt. Keep your butt tucked. You should feel a good stretch in that quad. All right, and we can switch right now. Other leg, heel to butt, butt tucked, stretch in the quad. and stop. All right, one more. We get to lie down. Hooray. All right. On your back. You're going to bend your knees. You're going to cross an ankle over the knee. And then you're going to let that whole bottom half of your body fall to the side with your hand on top of that knee, while your other hand reaches the opposite way. So you're in a full twist. Your top half is facing one way, your bottom half is facing the other. All right, so that's ankle over knee, fall to the ground. You can pull with your opposite hand and stretch. Hold it here, 30 seconds. If this doesn't feel good, forget the hand. Just kind of drop as comfortable as you can. You can even stack like a yoga block under here for some support if you feel like you don't have the availability to rotate all the way. Just try to breathe. All right, let's switch. So you're going to do ankle over other knee and fall to the side. It's a good chest opener. You should feel a bit of a stretch in your pec muscle in the chest. Get those hips rotating, your lower back and trunk rotating. You need that rotational mobility for running stride. Five seconds. All right, you can come out of that. And that's it. All right, that was your stretching session. Like I said, add it to a run or a cross training day or do it on your rest day. Whenever, it just gets all your major working muscle groups that get tight through all your training. And I would do that, 2 or 3 times a week whenever you can. Any exercises of those or the whole thing. Pick your favorites, linger where you feel a stretch, kind of hang out there. You can go longer than 30 seconds and just keep everything mobile. All right, good job, y'all. See you next time.